everybody! Good morning, good morning, good morning. Do you love my hat today? Isn't that cute? I look like I'm from Mexico. How are you doing? I hope that you're having a great morning. Okay, so here's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about something really serious today, and that's why the heck am I at Pirates Cove? So first and foremost, sorry for the crazy background and lack of lighting, but the truth is I had to find a little place outside of the heat in Las Vegas because it's absolutely ridiculously hot out here, and I wanted to come stream live for you and tell you a little bit about what some of the top marketers on the planet are talking about and some cool shit that you get to do when you make a lot of money. So good morning, Holly. Good morning, Julie, Susanna, Beth, Awesome, Brandy. Hi, how are you? I know, I'm sorry, you guys, that I couldn't get on yesterday. That was a bummer. Do you like my hat, though? Isn't this cute? I just found it. Anyway, okay, let's chat. I just lost my water. I don't have coffee because we're in the middle of nowhere. Like, let me see if I can show you a little bit. This room is a mess. So for 6 hours yesterday, we're supposed to be hanging out on the pool, this water slides with our friends. Look at that mess behind me. Look at, this is where I sat all day yesterday. You can see my purse there. And then, after all these, super smart internet marketers were, just so well put together. Just kidding. That's our setup. A whiteboard on a bunch of chairs. So all you guys who are perfectionists, let me just share with you that the next time you lead an event, you want to be a perfectionist, you could just let that go because the top marketers in the world don't overthink things. They just care about rocking out the content. So here's the truth. So here I wrote down a couple things that were my takeaways from yesterday. So first and foremost, let me just turn up the lack. Let me put it this way. The lack of complaining in the room. So first of all, we mastermind for 6 hours yesterday. And we had a 30-minute break to eat. So 6 hours yesterday, we had a 30-minute break to eat. And all of our family and our nannies and some people's wives and some people's husbands were out playing on these massive water slides. And at the end of this Facebook Live, I'll take you for a quick little walk along around the compound. I couldn't show you all of it because it's massive, and the owner of New Skin actually owns this place, which is a network marketing company. And so anyway, long story short, so 6 hours, your family's out playing, and we have a 30-minute break. And so that's an aha moment right there for some people who complain about, I didn't get a break, or you know what I mean? Just stop complaining in your business and really just dive in and get obsessed about what you're doing. Another big takeaway is that everybody geeks out on the marketing. Everybody. I often say to my clients, become obsessed with succeeding, become obsessed with winning. I launched these crazy contests in hardcore. Right now, my clients are rallying to win my car. And there's a group of people who are like, that doesn't motivate me. And I'm like, no, you're just not motivated, right? It's not that doesn't motivate you. You're just not motivated, right? It's how do you start taking out some of the dialogue inside the way that you think so that you can access total freaking freedom? And it has so much to do with the way you think. So I create these crazy contests inside of my client base so that I'm trying to reward them and incentivize them to win. Isn't that crazy? Nobody ever rewarded me to win, right? It was if I worked my ass off, I made good money. If I worked my ass off, then maybe I'd grow my company. But nobody was saying, hey, let me give you a Porsche if you rock it out, which is what we're doing with my clients right now. And I noticed that when I hang out with a group of really successful people, and there's all different levels. So here's another thing. Some of you guys will think you only want to hang out with people who make a ton of money, or you don't want to hang out with people who are not winning, or maybe you've outgrown your tribe. And here's what I want to share with you. As you grow, it's the person and the people that you want to hang out with that make you grow. In other words, it's their mindset. So if I gave up hardcore tomorrow, I'd be starting at 0, which means that I wouldn't have a ton of things to build off of or influence or anything like that. However, I would succeed really quickly again because I can put my head down and get obsessed about winning. obsessed about the actual marketing. So that was a big takeaway as well, is that what I'm doing and where I'm putting my head is actually quite normal for people who become wildly successful. They just get obsessed about what it is that they're working on. But here's a couple things that I think are really important. So, three people talked yesterday. Three people. It was Russell Brunson. It was who was it? It was Jason Fladlin, Ezra, that spoke yesterday, and everybody, like, first of all, I teach my community how to build big email lists, and everybody's strategies. Like Mike talked about the first 15 minutes on a webinar, and how the first 15 minutes on a webinar are one of the most important. Just so you know, that we don't sit down and we create these formulas or these winning strategies the first round. It takes us like 4, 5, 7, 10 years to master something, right? And so sometimes I think, as I'm talking to people, that they think if I teach them a webinar that all of a sudden they're going to rock it. And it's true, some people do. I mean, I taught at the Zone event last year, one of my most successful webinars, and people went out and made, literally, I'm not kidding you, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars inside of just a few weeks. And so some people went on to make, 6 figures inside of a few months. And I share this with you because there's a lot of people who did nothing with it. There's a lot of people who thought that, oh, that was interesting, but it was too hard, and they didn't dig in and go deep with it. And so, as I'm sitting here and talking with people, it's like these people have been going deep for years. Like Russell Brunson's been going deep in funnels for like a decade now, right? And it's like, but I know what happens is you guys watch us, right? You watch us out there in the marketplace, so you're like, oh my God, Shanda's talking about this, I have to go do this, and Russell's talking about this, and Mike's talking about this, and I got to go do this. And it's like, just stop for a second, because nothing any of us teach you is ever going to work if you don't know your thing that it is that you're trying to change the world with. And then you got to stop jumping from thing to thing to thing to thing to thing. We acknowledged yesterday that in this room, that if we do this again in 2 or 3 years from now, that most of the people in this room won't be sitting here. And we're talking about, like one guy has built his business in 16 or 18 months. He's built his business 3 times to the tune of like 400, I think it's 400,000 a month, and burnt it out, meaning that just stopped, right? So sometimes we get excited about, oh my God, somebody's doing this, right? Like, oh my God, Gabby Bernstein got on Oprah, or, but then when you pay attention, it's like, I'm not saying anything about Gabby, but I'm just saying, then you pay attention, you realize that sometimes people ride off their influence and their celebrity, which is a very powerful thing to have in the marketplace. Sometimes they ride off of that for a long time, and they start creating different products, like, a spiritual person's now going to become a business person. And what happens is that they start using their celebrity status to throw out a bunch of different fucking products. And here's the thing, don't do that. Don't be that type of person, because the people who stay at the top, the people who keep escalating and growing, first of all, they're not attached to their thing being the only thing. That's first and foremost. And they partner together like crazy to be able to get to the next level. But they've been doing their thing for like 10 years, and they're not trying to teach like 7 other things to be able to be successful, right? They're trying to figure out, oh, like, how do I continue to look at my thing, right, and grow it so my client base gets a better result with it. So here's what was cool. Even though Russell and Mike and all these people do different things than I do, every single one of them, it was built off an email list. Every single one of them. Russell said yesterday that he was so thankful that when his first mentor, when he was getting going, kept telling him to build an email list. And he said, I'm so thankful today because there was a big explosion on the internet where people were making like 7 figures, like $1 million a month, and they were outsourcing it all to India. And then these people in India for super dirt cheap were pushing buttons, and everybody was exploding and making millions and millions of dollars. And he goes, I really wanted to go do that. And his mentor said, put your head on the email list, put your head on the email list, put your head on the email list, and build a really big email list. And he has millions and millions of people on his email list today. And he said, you know what, that has saved me from going bankrupt 3 times. And here's what's interesting. What a lot of my peers are doing is they're building lists on social media. They're building their email list, of course. And because your email list only has a certain percentage open rate, once you're making millions of dollars, there's other things that you can parlay on the internet that uses lists as well. Like, for instance, if we grow our YouTube channel, what do you think Russell's doing to boost his YouTube channel? His email list, right? If you're building an Instagram channel or Snapchat channel or anything like that, pushing your email list to it, because once you get them on different platforms, the goal is that you can actually access people on multiple different platforms. But do you want to do that right off the beginning when you still haven't built a big email list? Maybe, but it'll slow your growth. Right? What if you were to go deep on one strategy and build your email list to, let's say, 50 or 100,000, or, I'm even more inspired now, like 500,000, 1 million. I mean, I talked to somebody who isn't even close to doing the numbers that I'm doing right now, and they have 1.1 million on their list, right? And they haven't even sent an email yet, which is really an aha moment. Russell's like, what are you doing? You should be sending tons of emails. That's like your lowest hanging fruit. And so I share this with you because so many times you hear us, and I say us, like everybody that is hanging out in this room will be here in a few hours. When you hear us out in the marketplace, you want to do all of us. That sounds horrible. But you want to chase all of us. And the thing is that if you could just first focus on building an email list and then start parlaying some of these other cool things and specialize in different areas. Like, I'm doing this in Marketing Mastery right now. It's like in Pace Club and in List Power, I teach people how to build email lists. In Pace Club, I show them how to sell to that email list. Then they pretty much rinse and repeat that for the next year or two. And then in Marketing Mastery, I start inspiring them to hire, some additional specialty resources to fine tune and go deep in these other areas to explode their businesses. And Amy Yamada, I see you on here. One of the big pieces Ezra was talking about yesterday is how they're using small lists and they're making $22-25 million a year. And the difference was deep connection, right? The difference was like really optimizing everything. All their communication was optimized so that their open rates are like 15-18%, like incredible open rates on your emails. So I share all of this with you because everybody has email lists and everybody has figured out what their thing is and driven really deep on that. So I just want to share with you whatever it is that you're focusing on. Make sure that you don't get shiny object syndrome. Make sure that, make sure that you do some cool things with your life, but make a lot of money so you can make a big influence in the world. And hi, Alex.
Morning.
Do you want to say hi to my Facebook Live? I was just sharing some of the things we were talking about yesterday.
Morning, everyone. This is where I'm sleeping.
So, what?
I said it's like a camp.
I know. I was sharing with everybody in the room. And I was also sharing with everybody how, we mastermind for 6 hours yesterday. Nobody bitched and complained. We had a 30-minute break for eating, and everybody was just fired up about continuing to kind of think about their businesses and what they're doing, and how often inside of masterminds people are bitching and complaining about, oh my God, there wasn't enough time, I have to run to the bathroom, or like, how many shiny objects can I fit into my thought process, or you know what I mean? So it was just an interesting take.
It's funny how the more people pay for masterminds, the less worried they are about like timing and food and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like the more experienced group you have, the more it is about like, what did I get out of the room?
Yeah, totally.
I had to leave yesterday for about an hour and it sucked.
You had to leave
I was so frustrated. I had a call that was pre-scheduled, so I had to leave.
Yeah.
And leaving a room like this, when you get into the right room, you kind of forget about eating.
Yeah, well, and I think you said something. I always say, I did this whole Facebook Live on 3 things that Scripture says about creating a harvest. And one of the things is your heart is always where your money's at, right? So wherever your money is at. So people are not charging enough for your resources, for your services. You're actually doing people a disservice because of the fact that our heart is where our money's at. If you want to know what you're committed to, look at your bank statement for the last 90 days.
And your calendar.
And your calendar. That's a good point.
Right?
Whenever
somebody says that, when an executive or somebody I'm coaching says, my family's most important to me, I always say, show me your checkbook and your calendar and let's make sure.
That's really interesting.
Because the fact is, if somebody's not scheduling their time with their family, if they're not spending money on time with their family, then show me how it's really important.
Yeah, no, that's 100%. That's 100% on point. Alex, share who you are.
I'm Alex Sharpin. Hey everyone! Wow, you got 108 people on this early. That's awesome.
Tell them what you do.
So I help entrepreneurs grow and scale businesses, similar to what you do.
Yeah.
And I wrote the book called The Entrepreneurial Personality Type that explains people like us and our personalities and why we are like we are and how we create momentum. Actually, I know some of those people. That's super cool.
You do?
Yeah.
Who?
I think Crystal.
Crystal Jackson is a rock
I
star.
saw a name flying. I can't remember which other one was just there, but that's super cool.
Yeah, it's super cool. So what was your big takeaway from yesterday?
Biggest takeaway from yesterday was, I think so many people look at marketing as an event. And I think that there's like programs and systems and stuff out there that says marketing is an event. Hey, you're going to do this launch, you're going to do this webinar, you're going to do this sales page, you're going to do this ebook, you're going to do whatever this event is.
Yeah.
And I think when you look at the people who successfully market, they have no events.
Yeah.
They don't think about events. They don't talk about events. It's like, no, there's this really long process that we use that we've refined over the course of the last 10 years.
I just shared that.
Right?
That's how I started.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And when you look at Russell, like even he was saying, like, I want to get events out of marketing. I want to shorten the events, take all the weirdness out of it, take all the discomfort out of it. And I think that, so that was one takeaway. Do you mind if I share a second one?
No, for sure.
I think the second one was that the more gimmicky your marketing is, the more dead you are.
Yeah.
Because when I looked at Ezra's, I actually looked up Ezra Firestone shared yesterday. Amazing, wasn't it?
Yeah. He's super smart. And I liked his thought process because that's something we do inside of our company. Like when you're marketing, so many people pull out of Facebook marketing, including great teams. Like Nick Kushmich is our Facebook team, he's brilliant. But like you'll start marketing. It's like, oh, I put in $5,000 and I only made $2,000. How does that like? And so many people pull back when they see that because they don't get that instant like heroin fix of the result. And I loved what Ezra was sharing yesterday because like when I went and I looked like at, so for instance, we have a book funnel where we give my book away for free and we give them an optional moment to put in their phone number or they can opt out. Well, 60% of the people who we drive traffic to that page give me their phone number. Out of the people who have ever purchased from me, the only ones who have ever purchased from me are the ones that gave me their phone number. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, and we made $400,000 in a couple months from that of just who knows what, so to speak. Like I couldn't believe the results. So I was like, keep driving deep on that funnel because it's an easy funnel. But if you were to look at it, you don't realize that, oh, well, it's not working to get somebody on the webinar or you know what I mean? So Ezra was talking about that long tail approach to growing a company, and I just thought that was brilliant.
Yeah, I thought the other thing, and I just kind of realized clarified my thought, was that Clickfunnels, one of the fastest growing companies in our entire business, perhaps the fastest software as a service company growing today, just hit a $320 million valuation. Russell's marketing guy was asked, how many active funnels do we have right now? And he said 15. And he even said, we're up to 15. And I'm like, 15? I know individual entrepreneurs that if you just watch them on Facebook, they're like, hey, I launched another funnel today. And then in the afternoon, launched another funnel today. And and they've got like 60. And they're all making $5 a month or less. They're costing them money. And you look at what's really going on in marketing today, it's not this event. It's taking a process and working people through it in a very congruent, very integral way. Ezra's articles are amazing.
Yeah, I haven't read them. I'm going to start getting
into
them.
But if you read them, I mean, he's telling women, really, he's giving them fantastic information for free. I mean, it's almost an ebook and an article.
Yeah.
And it's education. And I think that so many people these days are like, what's the right word I can put here so people will click? And what you don't realize is all of those words were before.
Yeah.
It's the education, it's the relationship, the integrity, everything that you built with them by the time that they're about to click.
And getting known for one thing really well. Like, I just saw someone who, I'm not going to say this first, but like was on Oprah and does this, and now all of a sudden they're like over here in the spiritual world, and now they're actually teaching business. I'm watching them like launch business funnels, and I'm sitting there going, come on, like keep going deep in where you're at, because like we acknowledged yesterday, like if we do this event 3 years from now, a lot of people won't be sitting in the room. And the problem with that, it's not just about
Shiny funnel syndrome.
Yeah, it's not about just making a lot of money, because one guy burnt out his business 3 times inside of 16 or 18 months. It's like not about just making a lot of money. It's about staying. It's about sticking. It's about going deep and really becoming masterful at your process.
Yeah. Yeah, shiny funnel syndrome is dangerous because I've watched it, and I bet you've watched it. It's
I've
like
watched
somebody figures out how to make a funnel, and it's like, ooh, look, I sold this thing. But wait, this thing's more expensive in the market. I'm going to start selling this thing.
Yeah.
And so suddenly you get someone who's like really good at relationships or really good at marketing. This is the worst one. Really good at marketing, really good at a marketing process, and now they're teaching business growth and scale.
Yeah.
It's the most frustrating, and I bet it frustrates you just as much as me, because you think like, hey, you don't have a background in business growth and scale. You don't have a business you scale.
Pisses me off. It pisses me off. I see it all the time, and then they go out there and they hurt people, and then it makes it harder for like people like us to get through some of those walls to really help people, although we will, because we're going to get masterful at what we're offering. But my point is like your unique ability. Sell your unique ability. You can sell anything because there's always an audience for it if you have solved a major problem, you know. So hey guys, are you enjoying this? Alex Arriaga, he is a superstar.
Nice.
He trains for Rich Dad Poor Dad, also has his own fund and helps people become rich through real estate. He's an incredible guy. Hey Jessica. Oh, Alex Arriaga, we're talking about who's ahead of you. Is this helpful? Awesome. Yay. Pick a lane and stay in it.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's awesome. Cool. Well, thanks you guys. I appreciate you guys getting up so darn early to come hang out with us here. We're here at Pirates Cove, a crazy location in Vegas where it's ridiculously hot. Were you on the water slides last night?
Yes.
I went to bed. I
went on the water slide, and it's a private residence, so there's absolutely none of the safety that you would normally have on a water slide. So it's jarring. You haven't been on it?
No, but I watched that.
I went on it, and I'm like, okay, well, that probably wasn't ever going to be in an amusement park, because you get off kind of shaken up and bruised.
I was watching a bunch of you guys all holding feet going down lining up going down the water slide.
I did not do that.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
And I was like, and the conversation was, like domains on millionaires going down water. Like they were actually still talking business as they were going down the water slides. It was hilarious.
That's pretty much how this event has been.
It has. All right, so we're going to end this Facebook Live. I wanted to say good morning. Have a massively awesome day. I don't know what you're up to today, but make sure that you're managing your mind. Make sure that you're protecting what goes inside your mind. Put your blinders on and focus on whatever you're focusing on to rock it out. I was sharing with them, one of the things we teach our entrepreneurs, especially from startup to 7 figures, is focus on that email list so that you can just bankroll your life. Like if you look at every successful people, we have email lists, we have audiences captured, and Russell was saying how his email list saved his ass 3 times and going bankrupt, right? So it's a major important thing to pay attention to, you guys. All right, go deep. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye. Oh, I promised them I'd show them around a little bit. Hold on. I was like, I might want to do it. So this is our highly technical kitchen. There's garbage flying out of the garbage can.
Yeah, but it's funny. At a Russell Brunson event, the garbage can's full of water bottles.
Yeah, water bottles instead of alcohol.
Right.
There's no alcohol. Okay, so I'll walk you guys through really quickly before I heat up in this craziness. This is where Russell's team was sitting yesterday, just like running through marketing things, because anytime we ask him a technical question, he has no idea what we're talking about. Yes, so point, and you don't have to be good at everything. Point, and if you're not going to be a Facebook marketer, stop taking Facebook training. So here is, if you go up there, that goes up to my room. It's kind of crazy back there. Look at this awesome picture of Marilyn Monroe. Isn't that cool? And then up there. Okay, so it's going to get hot in a second. Here we go. It's going to get... Okay, there's Pirates music playing out here already. It was at 6 a.m., 5 a.m. Okay, so... Oh, right. Okay, so my son went crazy on this pool first. So this is one pool. There's a pool down here. Barbecue. Here, this is the water slide. The boys were all going down yesterday. Let's see. I don't know if you guys can see. I was taking people through here yesterday. This part really over here is really funny. My son was tripping out about this. See if I can even find it. There's like all these things everywhere. It's crazy. Oh, let me show you this one thing before I go in there. Okay, so this is like an adult. It's for kids and an adult. Isn't that cool? So there's another pool down here. The owner of New Skin owns this. Look at that rope. Can you see the rope? It goes way up there. I mean, really far up there. And there's a whole like compound over there in the corner, which I've never actually ever been over there, but every one of us are sleeping in one of these castles. Okay? So my son was so happy yesterday that he just kept kissing his nanny every time he went down one of the kids' water slides. Okay, so here, it looks like a few people were drinking. Unfortunately, it looks like it won't let me go in there because it'll cut your internet. Let me see. Okay, we'll end in just a second, but here's where we'll have breakfast here in a few hours down there. Big, beautiful kitchen down there. And we'll all have breakfast. Oh, look, there's the pirates thing here. We'll have breakfast down here in a few hours, and yeah, then we'll start the day. I'm training today and teaching today, which should be a lot of fun. And I'll be teaching on business models that scale and give me a lot of extra flex and free time, because that's something that all of us are constantly looking for. So anyway, hope this was good. Tomorrow morning, by the way, I am going to have Craig from Perfect Day Formula is finally going to be on Coffee with Shanda tomorrow morning. So if you have got production challenges or can't figure out how to have more of a life and make more money, because he definitely helps you scale a business, because he teaches you how to focus on the meaningful things and how to get more out of your calendar for the day. So tomorrow morning, Craig will be with me, and he will actually be at Joe Polish's event, the Genius Network, which I'm also part of. He'll be over there at that while I'm here at Pirates Cove, and we'll be playing with each other through Facebook Live for Coffee with Shanda for about 20 minutes tomorrow. So it'll be quick on and off, because both of us have things to commitments to go do tomorrow. So hope this was helpful. Hope that you got a lot out of this Facebook Live, and I will talk to you guys soon. 242 comments this morning. Good morning, you guys. All right, have a great day.